And welcome back to the KHTS Morning Show here on your hometown station. It's me, it's Menji in the morning, helping you wake up. Thank you so much for tuning in, taking me along your morning commute. And, speaking of your commute, how's that looking? It is 8:37 here on your hometown station, taking a look at that Wednesday morning traffic. And southbound 14, well, that looks pretty good. It's completely clear. You're good to go. Southbound 5 also looking great. Up and over the hill there, it seems like there is a disabled vehicle around San Fernando Mission on the 5 South that is causing some delays. Really doesn't clear up until about Osborne Street. And then it's a slow drive down to Burbank. Southbound 405, that is your classic commute from Nordhoff all the way to just about Sunset Boulevard before it clears up to also a slow drive down to Santa Monica and towards LAX. I think everyone is still trying to adjust to that hour shift that we had. All right, well, that is your traffic here, so get to where you need to get to safe on your hometown station. And now, joining me in studio, one of my favorite mental health advocates ever. I have Barbara Wilson here from the Mental Health Hookup, and she's going to be talking to us about Stop the Stigma. Hey, Barbara, thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
And so tell me a little bit about what is Stop the Stigma.
Well, so happy you asked. I've lived here in Santa Clarita for many, many decades, and over the years, I have noticed that we provide a lot of services for families until we have children become 18 and over, and they have a psychotic episode or 2 or 3, and we have very little in our community for that population. And part of the reason we have so little is because of the stigma of feeling like, oh, I did something wrong as a mom, maybe I should have breastfed, bottle fed, whatever. But these are our kids that grew up in our schools, played our little league baseball or soccer, and they did not ask to have schizophrenia. They just happened to develop it after age 18, which is typically when it happens. So in our community, the only resources really other than the county clinic is for them to go outside of our community, which we don't want, in order to access the resources that they need in order to get better.
Yeah. And I think it really says it right there in the title. Stop the stigma. Stigma being the key word there. And I think you hit the nail on the head with, it's not something that you want to talk about because it feels embarrassing. It can feel like, oh no, I'm a failure as a parent and
Right.
I didn't do enough for my child. And now look at them. They're all messed up and all that kind of, but it has nothing to do with that.
That is right. It is a brain disease. It is a brain disorder. And so we need to look at it for what it really is. This isn't, people do not make this a goal like, whoa, when I grow up, what I want to be as a person with schizophrenia.
Mm-hmm.
It is something that happens to you the same as diabetes or hypertension or, some people say, well, maybe they're just hanging with the wrong crowd and they're doing drugs. Maybe they are, but I want to tell you that this is one of the oldest diseases known to mankind in all of recorded history, in all cultures, in all income levels, all ethnic groups. We have this cluster of symptoms.
So what can somebody expect when they go to this Stop the Stigma event? What can somebody
Well,
see
first
there?
of all, I want you to know we have fun.
Yeah.
Because people say, oh, you work in mental health, aren't you just so depressed? No, we come out and we have a good time, and we want the residents, especially people whose lives have been affected. Maybe you have a grandson or a son or a daughter that has serious mental illness. Maybe they have major depression and just can't get out of bed, whatever. Come out. We want you to come out of hiding. That's the purpose. And we have a a lot of organizations that are local that are here to help you with your loved one, or if you are a person that has serious mental illness, come out if you need services, or just come out and see, have fun. We're going to have food, we have a DJ. The hospital has been very generous. It's their 50th anniversary, and they're allowing us to use their space. So look for our volunteers with the lime green balloons. So those are our colors. That's the color for mental health. It's lime green, which is my T-shirt, and we have fun.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're just tuning in, I'm talking to Barbara Wilson. She's with the Mental Health Hookup, and she's talking about the Stop the Stigma SCV event that's happening this year. It's going to be Saturday, May 10th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and it's happening over there at Henry Mayo Newhall Hospital. And it sounds like it's going to be like a great time. Obviously, not just all fun. There's going to be some learning, some resources
We will have
available.
some speakers, so if you're late, you might miss the speakers. Won't tell you who they are just yet, but we do have speakers. So people say, "Oh, if I'd known you, we're going to have a program, I would have come at a certain time." So make sure the doors will open at 10. We will start our program at 11. We will have free raffles for baskets. You don't have to pay money to win a basket. You can just come and show up.
Awesome. And who is this event for? Is this really for kids, for parents?
This event is mostly for parents and family members and people with lived experience who are adults or who have been affected by an adult's mental illness. Because what happens is we have services, not enough, but we have some services up to age 26 roughly. They can stay on their parents' insurance, but after that there's kind of this big drop off. So where do they go next? Where do they get health insurance next? So those are some of the reasons we have community resources there to help people identify, from booth to booth, what do you need? We have this, go over there. Veterans will be there. Department of Mental Health will be there. Child and Family Center will be there. We will have a good assortment of organizations. Samuel Dixon will be there. So come out, see what we have that is geared specifically to people that have serious mental illness and their families.
Amazing. Now, I want to turn it to you just for a second because, Barbara, you've been doing this for many, many years, in the mental health field. Really, what have you seen is changes in the actual in the whole field of mental health, and has it gotten better? Would you say, is it going in the right direction? Seeing it from your perspective, from just all the years of experience that you have.
That's a very big question.
I know. I know. I asked it, and we don't have a few minutes,
that's
but
like a semester's class. But what I can say is that I've been in this field since Vietnam, and what I've seen is the lack of funding for this niche group. So I've worked with a lot of populations, teenagers, children, families, whatever. I'm choosing to spend what's left of my life advocating and trying to raise awareness for people that have serious and chronic forms of mental illness because there is almost no funding. And when the funding stopped, the services died. So that is a large reason why we are where we are today.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it seems like such an important thing. I feel like more people are a little bit more aware of mental health and the importance that it has for their own person. The
Yes.
brain and the body, they're so connected to each other. So if one is not healthy, then, the rest
That is
goes with
correct.
it. So
And the other thing is, of course, the fact is that when a person experiences psychosis, it usually happens typically between the ages of, say, 18 and 30. So those are also the years when people are going to career build. Either they're going to college or the military or, a trade apprenticeship. The psychosis interrupts that. So as the result, most people that develop serious mental illness also end up being very poor.
Which is unfortunate
Yeah,
because
so they
it's
kind of go together
yeah,
in the long run.
and the way that things are, it kind of locks you out of resources that you need,
Exactly.
essential resources that you need.
And that is why we put this on.
Yeah. Well, Barbara, you are doing incredible work, as you always have done for so many years. I hope to keep talking with you and hear all about how Stop the Stigma went, and hopefully you come back in so that we can keep talking
I
about
would love it,
Stop the
and I want to
Stigma.
thank KHIS for being one of our sponsors.
Oh, well, of course, we love all of the work that you do there. Thank you, Barbara, for coming in and giving us just a little bit of your time. And, we could be talking for hours, but unfortunately, we have to wrap it up here. So thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, when we return, I'm going to have more music for you to wrap up the morning. And, hey, keep it here. It's the morning show with your morning radio guy, Menji. FM 98.1 and AM 1220.